I'm about to show you why conventional wisdom about retirement accounts could be costing you a fortune. Today, we're diving into one of the most overlooked wealth-destroying mistakes in retirement planning. I'm bringing back two retirees from last week's episode, Lisa and Mark, through their 25-year retirement journey and uncover the hidden traps that could derail Mark's plan. Same lifestyle, same withdrawal rate, but one pays $540,000 more in taxes over 25 years. The other leaves their heirs nearly double the inheritance. The difference? A wealth decision most people make without even thinking twice about the long-term consequences. So stay tuned, because this could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So meet Lisa and Mark. Both are 65. They did a great job of saving for retirement. They just retired and both think they're in similar financial positions. But appearances can be deceiving. Lisa has $1.65 million every penny in Roth 401ks and Roth IRAs. Mark has $2.19 million in traditional pre-tax 401ks and IRAs. At first glance, Mark looks better off. He's got $550,000 more saved in his retirement accounts. Both plan to withdraw about $66 net, or 4% annually. That's $66,000 for Lisa and $87,600 for Mark, because he has to pay taxes on his withdrawals. Both also receive about $3,600 monthly in Social Security benefits. And they both expect 7% annual returns in retirement with a more conservative portfolio than when they were working. Same lifestyle, same goals, but the outcomes dramatically different. Before we get into the episode, let's talk about wealth decision number one. The IRS is your silent business partner in traditional accounts, and they never take a vacation. Coming up next, we'll see how Mark's extra $540,000 becomes a liability, not an asset. Plus, I'll reveal the stealth tax that catches most retirees completely off guard. So don't go anywhere. So let's look at the first stage of their retirement, the first 8 years. They look pretty similar. Lisa withdraws her $66,000 tax-free. Mark withdraws about $87,600 but pays taxes. And let's just use a 22% effective tax rate, which leaves him with about $68,000 after taxes. Both are living comfortably. But here's where it gets interesting. Mark's account is actually growing faster in absolute dollars because he started with more. And by year 8, Mark has about $2.8 million, while Lisa has $2.1 million. Mark's feeling really good about his bigger nest egg. So Mark is in a great position, but there's a plot twist coming. So wealth decision risk number one, required minimum distributions, or RMDs. At age 73, Mark will be forced to withdraw money whether he needs to or not. And those withdrawals are based on his larger account balance. I call this the RMD Avalanche. At age 73, Mark is facing required minimum distributions. His 4% withdrawal will cover his RMDs for the first couple years, but by age 78, his RMD will need to be about 4.5%. By then, his retirement account balance would be approximately $3.2 million. So he'd be forced to take about $140,000, which is $56,400 more than he needs. And the thing about RMDs is it was designed by the government to get all of your money out of your retirement accounts by the time you die. The percentage might be 4.5 at age 78, but by age 80, it's 4.95%. By age 83, it's 5.65%. By age 86, it's about 6.25%. And by age 92, if he lives that long, it'll be about 9.26%. And this table continues to go on and ratchets up. Eventually, if you live to your 100 or older, it's going to be well over 10% that you'll have to take out of your retirement accounts to meet the required minimum distributions. What happens with this extra income is it pushes Mark into the next tax bracket when you count his Social Security. So wealth decision risk number two, this extra income also triggers what's called IRMAA. This isn't your late aunt. IRMAA surcharges are Medicare premium penalties for high-income retirees. An extra $120,000 in income in retirement can add $5,000 to $6,000 annually in Medicare premiums because of these IRMAA surcharges. It's a tax on having saved too much in the wrong accounts. But Lisa, she has no required minimum distributions ever. Her money grows tax-free, and she controls exactly when and how much to withdraw. So here's our second wealth decision principle. RMDs turn your retirement account into a government-controlled annuity with tax brackets as your payment schedule. Still ahead, how Mark's larger account in terms of his legacy gets cut in half by taxes, and the simple strategy that could have prevented this entire situation. Plus, 3 actionable steps you can take today. This next segment is what I call the legacy disaster. Let's fast forward to the end of the 25-year journey. Both Lisa and Mark have passed away. Lisa's account, despite starting smaller, has grown to about $3.8 million. Mark's account, about $4.2. Again, Mark looks better, right? Wrong again. Mark's heirs inherit about a $1.6 million tax bill. So this leads me to wealth decision risk number 3. Under current rules, non-spouse beneficiaries must withdraw inherited traditional IRAs or 401ks within 10 years. Depending on their income, that could bump them up to the next tax bracket. They could pay 32 or even 37% in federal taxes, plus some potential state taxes depending on the state that you live in. That $4.2 million becomes potentially only $2.6 million after taxes. Lisa's heirs, they inherit $3.8 million tax-free. They can stretch it, invest it, or spend it with no tax consequences. So the final tally, Lisa's family receives about $1.2 million more than Mark's family, despite Mark starting with $540,000 more and saving more diligently his entire career. So this brings us to the third wealth principle. In retirement planning, it's not what you save, it's what you keep after the IRS takes your cut. So let's look at the total damage. Let's add up Mark's total tax burden over 25 years. He pays about $380,000 in regular income taxes on his withdrawals. He pays an additional $85,000 from forced RMDs. He pays about $75,000 in IRMAA surcharges on his Medicare premiums, which is a total extra cost of about $540,000. That's exactly the amount Mark thought he had as an advantage at the start. His head start became his anchor. Plus, his heirs will have to pay about $1.4 million in taxes over the 10-year stretch at the 32% tax bracket, leaving them with almost half of Mark's legacy. Coming up, 3 specific actions you can take right now to avoid Mark's situation, even if you're already retired. So here's what you can do today. First, Roth conversions. If you're in a lower tax bracket now, convert some of your traditional IRA money to a Roth. Pay the taxes today to avoid taxes tomorrow if you think rates are going up, like most people do. This will also help you have less money in IRAs to avoid those higher RMDs. Even Mark could have started partially converting his 401k or IRAs at 62 to spread the tax impact. And he would do that simply by looking at how much room is in his tax bracket and convert that amount each year over a period of time. Put your growth investments in your Roth accounts and more conservative investments in your traditional accounts. Let your highest growth potential compound tax-free. And third, plan your tax bracket. Work with an advisor to model different withdrawal strategies. Sometimes taking slightly more from traditional accounts early can save massive taxes later. So if you do have a combination of Roth assets and pre-tax assets, you may want to take from your pre-tax accounts first and let those Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks to continue to compound tax-free. The key insight is tax planning isn't just about this year's return. It's about the next 30 years of your financial life. The difference between Lisa and Mark wasn't luck. It was a strategy. Don't let the IRS become your biggest beneficiary. Here's my challenge. If you're 58, 60, or 62, project out what your retirement balances are going to be at 73. Now, that is the current RMD age. By the time you retire, if you retire 10 years from now or 15 years from now, that RMD age may be 75. But calculate what your potential tax liability would be. And you can find the RMD table by doing a Google search. Now, if you're shocked by these numbers, it's time to start acting. It's time to start thinking about doing a partial conversion strategy of your IRAs or 401ks into a Roth IRA. Look at how much room is in your tax bracket and do a partial conversion strategy over a period of 5 to 8 to 10 years. Don't wait until you're 73 and trapped by RMDs. If you'd like to schedule a tax efficiency review, get in touch with me on my website at momentouswealthadvisors.com, and I'd be glad to show you what it's going to look like with your current situation. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the most asked question I get as a financial advisor. Should I pay off my mortgage before I retire or keep investing? Until then, make every wealth decision count. And would love if you pre-ordered my new book, Momentous Decisions, 7 Steps to Better Health, More Wealth, and a Richer Life. You can find the pre-order link in the description of this podcast. And if you found this information in this video valuable, please share it with a friend, like, subscribe, share it on social media. My goal with the Wealth Decisions podcast is to reach over 100,000 people in the Twin Cities and beyond so people can live a richer life. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.